Well, hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games. We are back in Monster Hunter World, and well, today we are most likely going to run headfirst into a brick wall, because we are going to hunt Anjanath. That is what we are going to do today. But before we can do that, just a quick look at our equipment over here. We have a bit of fire resistance, which apparently is very necessary for the fight against Anjanath. Mostly bone armor at this point in time. I think that is the only real armor that we have got available that has any real fire resistance. We also do have the Kestodon guards, which is slightly better than the bone armor in that regard. So as much fire resistance as we possibly can get, but our weapon is not great. So we are going to quickly do something about that. And I had to fight the Geratotus a few times in order to actually be able to make this weapon. But if we go and we upgrade this charge blade of ours, we are now able to upgrade it into the Geratotus tree, and it actually does quite a bit of water damage, it seems. So that is wonderful. So let us quickly make that. And of course, we are going to equip it as well. And this will hopefully do quite a bit of damage against the Anjanath that we are going to fight today. And I think now we are as ready as we're going to be in order to actually go and talk to the team leader. Now, I fully expect to actually die quite a lot in the fight that is coming up, but we'll see how it goes, you know. So let's hear what you've got to say, field team leader.
All right.
There's only one thing left to do in order to finish securing the base. And that is Anjanath that we encountered previously. And apparently that Anjanath is interfering with operations around Astera here, so we need to sort that out before we can actually go after Zora Magdaros. And apparently Anjanath won't be easy to take down, so I guess that's the first clue that we are possibly going to encounter a wall now. So we're just going to, of course, go and grab a meal, and then we're going to head out, I guess. I've got a bunch of potions on me, and I believe I'm going to need all the potions I can get. I do love the look of our new weapon. That looks really awesome. Now I'm going to go for the chef choice. I'm going to go for this chef's choice platter. And goodness me, that was way too hard to say. Mainly because it gives us a bit of extra health. I would have liked to go for the veggie platter with the elemental resistance, but you know, it doesn't give me enough health. So I'm going to take the chef's choice platter, that one, and hopefully that helps. The handler says that, well, Anjanath looks like a giant ball of cotton candy with sharp teeth, so dangerous on the front end. But as far as I know, it's also dangerous at all ends. And for that quest, we are just going to start out at a normal spot there, the normal southwest camp. We should be able to head out from there and quite easily, come across the Anjanath, because, well, they are all over the show. And off we go. I really do hope I'm actually able to survive the Anjanath. We'll have to see, I guess, because, well, that is one tough cookie, that's for sure. Now, the water moss that we've got over here may actually be very useful. The puddle pod that we now have over there. Because with Anjanath being a fire type in essence, the water should be able to do quite a bit of damage against it. And so too, our weapon should be able to do quite a bit of damage to it, because, well, our weapon is a water elemental weapon. So let's use that. We do have some old footprints here of Anjanath. They definitely come through this area, most likely hunts these Aptonoth. I mean, they are definitely a very important food source for the Anjanath. Almost certainly is. And yeah, there we go. So in the previous episode, I mistakenly said that these footprints belong to the Tobikadachi, but Tobikadachi has a much more bird-like footprint. These big footprints here, with the 3 toes in the front and the 1 toe to the side, yeah, that belongs to Anjanath. So just a little bit of a correction regarding that from the previous episode. Okay, so there are some Jagras coming up here. I just don't want to draw their attention. Don't want to unnecessarily fight creatures, you know. And off they go. Great stuff. Now, I also don't want to, waste time, because we only do have 50 minutes, and, well, I'm also very busy at the moment. I've got to go on a field trip shortly. So I don't have a lot of time to actually record this either. So we have one chance at this. And look at that, we got an Anjanath scale from the snot against the rock there. Now that mucus that we saw there, of course, very important in this here as well. Very important for the Anjanath to mark its territory that way. So most likely the Anjanath walks along these trails and then goes, okay, well, I should mark this. Very, very, well, apparently, fiercely territorial. A lot of carnivores would do that, where they do mark their territories so that other individuals of the same species usually, but sometimes also of other species, are able to realize that, oh goodness, this area belongs to another individual. I should not try to establish my territory in this area. And usually you find that in species that actually have a quite well-developed sense of smell. It's no point, you don't have a sense of smell, but you mark something with pheromones or with some kind of other scent mark. I do believe we are heading in the right direction. Quite a narrow area over here. Not sure how the Anjanath got through there, but apparently able to squeeze through quite small spots. Aha. Ooh, something is happening. Oh, there's the Anjanath, and he has killed the great Jagras. Or is killing a great Jagras. Oh, okay, okay. Of course, traps like the rocks up there. Great way to potentially damage the Anjanath. Could also be that if we can get some kind of turf war between it and some of the other creatures going, that could help us. Just drawing attention to it, to that area, so that we can actually bring it down. Okay. Great introduction to how to use these environmental traps in essence. And there we go. That does, hopefully, a bit of damage to it. It is, however, and not dead. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, goodness. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Here we are, Anjanath. Now, from what I have heard and seen, this guy is dangerous on all sides. We are going to just have to watch him. Of course, there we go, big lunge. Okay, good to know that. Why, Memphis, why are you just standing there? Okay, quite a few lunges. But as far as I know, you can also kick, which is not great. Okay, come on. Okay, that's a big headbutt. And, oh, he can work with his tail as well. Okay, good, 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 good. Oh, there we go, there's that kick. And a big spin, okay, right. Oh. And there we go, we blinded him, great stuff. So let's now just quickly do a bit of that and a bit of that. And perhaps a bit of... Ooh, there we go. It's got water element on it now. That's a tail wipe. That's... Oh, man. I was just a bit too slow there. Now, what I'm really starting to worry about is when is the fire breath coming? That is the question. Most likely will come soon. Okay, off he goes. Okay, we, of course, go after it. You know what? We are going to just skin the Grey Jagras while we are here. And also, while we are at it, just going to sharpen our blade here. Now, the Anjanath is, of course, a solitary creature. There he is. The solitary creature does not occur in big packs. I mean, you can imagine... Oh, look at that. There's that... Oh, nasal passages extended. You can't see... There we go. So those nasal passages being extended like that was most likely for two reasons. Could be to actually pick up our scent, but it also could be a way to cool down. There we go, extending again. Because big creatures like this, they battle to actually cool down. They very easily overheat. And with the air being breathed in through those passages, there most likely are a whole bunch of little veins, little capillaries as well, in that flap over there. And as air gets sucked in, water evaporates from the surface of those nasal passages, cooling the blood down. And as the blood then travels through the body, especially towards, past the brain, it actually cools down blood going to the brain, very often through a system known as a rete mirabilis, which is a tight network of capillaries going from that nasal passage with cool blood, going past the... Oh, hello, I think you may be seeing us. Going past the the blood flowing... Oh, there we go, big wings as well, or kind of big wings also being extended. Interesting. Okay, we are just going to run back up there. There's a reason I want to be here in this area. That's Rathalos right there. That's why we wanted to be there. We wanted Anjanath and Rathalos to fight. And... Ooh, fire against fire. Of course, the Rathalos, very, very strong, able to pick up the Anjanath and do quite a bit of damage to it. You know, what's not to love about that? And off goes the Rathalos. Please don't come after me. No, 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 no. Okay, Gillimantle, Gillimantle. No, no, no. I am not here. I am not here. Go for the Anjanath, please. The Anjanath and the Rathalos not liking one another at all. When two big predators in the same area, most likely going for the same food. They obviously don't like that. I think the Rathalos may have seen us again. We're just going to run into the denser jungle again. And then we're going to head over to Anjanath. That is cool. That's a very cool interaction. The fact that they will compete with one another and actually attack one another. And here comes the Anjanath towards us again. Just going to try and lead him out more into the open here. I don't really... This is not a great spot to fight him. There's lots of obstacles in our way. But you know what? This is what we are going to do. Oh, that was a big hit. And we don't want to get... Oh, that's a nice side hit again from him. Ooh, look at those big flaps extending. Now, like with the nasal passages, it could be that those wings extending could also be a way to cool down. It could also be an intimidation. Oh, look, there's a fire, there's a fire. And most likely will now breathe a lot of... There we go, that could insta-kill us. Especially considering that my health is not full. Oh, there's another potential fire breath. No, 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 okay. Oh, man, immediately hit us again. Just the moment we are full health, it just hits us again. And another big fire breath coming. Okay. Yeah, I can see why this is a challenge. A definitely a wall that a lot of people can hit. We're just going to try and take it nice and slow. Not going to overextend ourselves, or try not to at least. When we see an opening, we take that opening. Now, we obviously have not done a lot of damage to it. It is still going strong. Oh, there we go. That's exactly what I was waiting for. There we go. Oh, apparently we also have a Jagras friend. Yeah, we have indeed. Now, the Jagras is going to really be no match against this creature over here, the Anjanath, but it's something. At the very least, it is going to be a distraction. Not a very good distraction, but a distraction. Oh, I see our feline, our Palico, is actually riding the Jagras into battle. That is great. And let us do a nice little charge elemental whack against this guy. Okay, where's Anjanath? Over there somewhere. Now, you know, I feel like this could have gone worse. So far it's been going alright. But as I was saying, the little stubby wings there are obviously useless in terms of flight. There's no way those little stubby wings can get the Anjanath airborne. Instead, it most likely functions like elephants' ears. Because, well, elephants are big animals occurring in very hot environments. And as I've mentioned, big animals struggle to keep cool in warm environments. And the big flappy ears of elephants is a nice strategy for them to actually cool down. There we go, there are the wings exposed again. Now opened up there. It could be two purposes, right? Just because it is for one purpose doesn't mean it's not for another purpose. So it could be to actually cool down. Wind will blow across those wings there and cool the blood vessels in there. And then the cooler blood will go through the body of the Anjanath. But it can also be a case of, well, I think if we shoot that... Oh, I really thought we could actually get it to be trapped. I'm not sure how we get it to be trapped. Maybe with an explosive pod. Anyway, but it could also be that those big wings, they are a way to intimidate us in particular. And there comes the fire. Okay. And it got itself snared. Okay. Great stuff. And there we did a bit nice bit of damage to the tail. Oh, is he limping? Almost looks like he's limping. Oh, he's on the ground. This is marvelous. Oh man, that is That is bad, that is bad. No, 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 no. That was bad. Nullberry, Nullberry, Nullberry. Let's just not be on fire anymore. There we go. That one did get me completely and utterly. Okay, we're just going to wait for him to come closer and then flash him. There we go. Now, interesting the fact that it can kick, though. It didn't kick there, but it can kick. If you look at things like ostriches, well, they can definitely kick. That's one of the... Oh, it's limping. Oh, yes. So ostriches, for example, you wouldn't think that they actually can, do much damage with their little flimsy beaks and stuff like that. But the beak is not that dangerous, but the kicking actually is. And likewise, the Anjanath here can also kick, although Anjanath also has a dangerous front end, a dangerous back end, a dangerous middle end. Now, the fact that Anjanath and Rathalos fought like that was also not a surprise. I mean, two top predators or high-level predators definitely would fight with one another, especially if they are feeding on the same resources. And it is speculated that Rathalos feeds on the Aptonoth as well, so there is a shared resource there. Now, species can coexist generally if there is not too much overlap between them. But it seems that, yeah, there could be quite a bit of... Oh, and I think Rathalos is up there. Yeah, there's Rathalos up there. If there's not too much overlap between them, two species can coexist generally. Oh, there we go. Rathalos is back. Rathalos is back. Marking his territory. Look at that, scraping against that. Very similar to how leopards also will mark their territory. Oh, goodness, that was a very, very, very close encounter. Now, leopards will very often mark their territory also by scraping, like we can see here. They actually stretch and they scratch on the bark of trees. They have got specific trees they will visit in their territory to mark in this manner. Interesting to actually have seen Rathalos do that. I did not expect that at all, but that was awesome. But we are not here to kill Rathalos, and I don't think we would be able to kill Rathalos yet. We are here to get rid of the Anjanath. So that is what we are going to do. Now, there are a few more Jagras over here. Hopefully they kind of leave us alone. Ah, there is the Anjanath. You know what? We are just going to start by whacking him in the head. And, ooh, I'm wondering, are the Jagras going to attack him now? It would make sense that they would. Although it doesn't look like they are. Never mind. Oh, here comes a big charge. Straight where we are. I mean, we were really caught between a rock and a hard place there. This is really not a great space to actually fight him. Because we can't get past his big body. It really is like blocking the entrance here. There we go. Okay, let's get him back up here, I think. If we can. Come on, you want to come? No, you didn't want to come up here. Okay, fine. You're running away. Coward. Oh, you just made a mistake. So, back to fighting the Rathalos, eh? And it's hopefully not going to go too well for him. But never mind, here comes Rathalos. Let's just hope Rathalos does not come for us again. We've got our ghillie mantle ready. Oh, okay, never mind. Rathalos has left the area again. Ah, no, not today. Not today. Oh, another flashfly cage. And another nice big whack like that. I do suspect old Anjanath here is not doing too well. Yeah, he is definitely limping. Now there is something here I do want to try. Let's see here. Oh no, I'm on fire. And Cinnamon, our one cat, is constantly meowing at me now. Not how you do this. Let's see, I should be able to run up here and do this. Yes, there we go. Let's hold on. And attack. Okay, so where those mushrooms are against the tree, you can actually use that to run up against... Oh man, okay, I don't know how I did brace. But we should avoid the fire there. Oh, another big fireball coming. It's obviously enraged at the moment. Okay, why am I... Okay, so I got knocked down by the Anjanath. I'm not sure whether Anjanath is now going to come for me. There he is. Yeah, looks like he may be coming for me here. Going to use the time here to just get some nice medicine and get my nullberry ready. And that is it. Wow. That went better than I expected. That went a lot better than I expected. Alright, so let's quickly harvest the Anjanath here. And this will, of course, especially now if I continue hunting Anjanath, will give me some nice armor I can also make with it. Got some pelt there. Oh, that pelt, that was necessary to actually set up that one camp, which is marvelous. That we needed to actually set up the one camp here close to these Grimalkin over here. So we are going to do that, I think, a later time, or next time perhaps. But yeah, whenever you have got those mushrooms, like they're in the Rathalos area there, if you actually run up against those mushrooms on the tree and you press spacebar at the top, you can launch yourself off and then, impale the Anjanath on the head there or on the back somewhere and do a bit of damage there. Unfortunately, I did not manage to capitalize on that, but I did manage to actually do some damage there. That was marvelous. And let's see here, we are going to take everything. We've got a nice bunch of Anjanath scales, it seems, some nice Anjanath belt there. The flame sack, oh yes, of course. So with the Anjanath, what it does is it stores fire, or it stores chemicals that it can then use, and it mixes it with, as far as I know, the mucus of the Anjanath that it uses to mark its territory, that it mixes with bioluminescent compounds. I think those bioluminescent compounds are stored in the flame sack. See, that is filled with a flammable powder, so that's bioluminescent powder there. And when that is then mixed with the Anjanath snot, in essence, the mucus, and exposed to the air, it creates a fire that we saw there. So that's quite an amazing way to actually have a species generating fire. The one compound on its own will not create fire. The other compound on its own will not result in fire. But if you take the one compound and you mix it with the other, it results in a highly volatile exothermic reaction. Exothermic meaning it releases energy during the chemical reaction. And in this case, then it is volatile. It creates fire. And that is then how these Anjanath are then able to, of course, breathe fire. And you can kind of see it takes a while to actually charge up there, where it first has sparks, and then breathing of the fire there. Makes sense. It really does make sense. But whenever you have a creature either shooting water or acid or fire or blood or whatever, it needs some kind of way of potentially at least storing it. In this case, the flame sac is there, and the nasal passages with the snot, the mucus, is also there. So that is really marvelous. Great adaptation. I love Anjanath. Now, what I didn't mention, though, is that it isn't really covered with feathers. Not heavily covered with feathers, at least. Just the back and the tail. And it could, in fact, be in the process of losing the feathers. Because it is in a hot environment, feathers actually trap a lot of heat and could potentially result in this Anjanath here overheating. Which is where the nasal passages, that extendable nasal passages, and the short, stubby, flappy wings would come into play. Because as wind blows across that, it cools the blood flowing through those two organs there. And that will result in the blood going through to the rest of the body actually being cool enough to keep the animal alive. We, for example, in Southern Africa have got the gemsbok, or gemsbak, which is an antelope that occurs in these desert environments, in the very hot, very dry environments. You can cool down by actually losing a lot of water and evaporating it. That will cool your body down. But it's still not necessarily going to help you with cool blood going to your brain. If the blood going to your brain is too hot, you're going to die. And what they also have is the Rite Mirabile, which would be, as I've explained with the Anjanath there, cool blood going from the nasal passages, flowing past hotter blood going to the brain. And as these two, they flow in opposite directions, and as they flow past one another, heat is transferred from the hot veins going to the brain to the cooler blood going from the nasal passages. And with that process, the blood cools down considerably, allowing cooler blood to actually reach the brain. Some species actually use it to heat up blood. Species like bluefin tuna and potentially great white sharks living in cold water will use that to actually heat up blood by having it flow past blood, warm blood flowing from the muscles where heat is kind of generated. That is quite cool. Absolutely love it. And that means we can just take all of this. Yes, we can. And our Palico is already level 5 with a flash fly cage use, so gaining, you know, quite a bit of skill there with it. And now, oh, it's learned the Thunderbug cage. Oh, that's marvelous. And let's see, Astera is safe. Finally. Finally, nobody's got to worry about the Anjanath outside.
Gather round, people. We have much to discuss.
Alright, what have we got to discuss, Commander?
All our preparations are complete, and I have all of you to thank for working double time to make it happen.
It's been fun, thank you.
I'm especially impressed with the 5th for hunting the Anjanath despite being new here.
That's what we do.
That's one less misery standing between us and capturing Zora Magdaros. Well done.
The thing is, if they couldn't even handle the Anjanath, how are they going to capture Zora Magdaros? Like, how?
When will Zora reach the Great Ravine?
Precisely at daybreak.
Okay, so heading to the Great Ravine.
Good. Let's run through the operation one last time.
Okay.
Our hunters will rendezvous on site. Once the beast appears, the operation will commence. We've built 2 barriers in the target's path.
Aha, okay. So, 2 areas through which Zora Magdaros has to move, okay.
Your objective is to stop it at the first barrier, initially wearing it down with cannon and ballista fire, then restrain it with binders.
Okay, make it weak, take it down.
However, there is a chance it will break through. If so, we'll initiate the mounting phase of the operation.
Well, that sounds fun. Climb on top of it.
During this phase, we'll attempt to weaken it further, so that we'll have a better chance of restraining it at the second barrier.
That also makes sense. Even if it broke through the first barrier, it's strong enough to potentially still break through the second one.
Make sure you hammer it as much as possible with cannons and ballista. They're there for a reason.
Sounds like fun.
Keep your ears open during the operation. I'll be giving orders as the situation unfolds.
Okay, interesting,
May the
interesting.
Sapphire Star light your way. Dismissed.
Obviously, we're not going to be able to take down Zora Magdaros yet, because I mean, we just got the ability to take on 4-star hunting missions, so yeah. But we are going to try, at least, next time. So thank you for joining me, everybody, for our nice little adventure into Anjanath. If you've got any questions or any comments about him, please do let me know. I'll be happy to answer as best I can. You know, time may be limited, but I try to make some time to actually sit down and answer the comments and stuff like that, although it does take quite a while sometimes. Now, on Saturday, so tomorrow, we are actually going to be live stream again, Nick and I. We're most likely going to be live stream Ark Survival Ascended. We're going to try at least. If it doesn't work, we are going to be live streaming Icarus. And then, of course, on Tuesday, another Empires of the Undergrowth video coming out. And then, of course, next Friday, we are going to be taking on Zora Magdaros. Oh, goodness gracious me. But until next time then, everybody, stay safe. We'll see you all soon. Cheers.